GLC presents a Studio B production, brought to you by the donations of our faithful partners.
Hello from the Holy Spirit. Hello from God. Hello from Jesus. They're all here to help you. They all love you. One of the Holy Spirit's jobs is to correct you. He also guides you and He helps you and He comforts you, but one of His jobs is to correct you. And today, we're going to talk about an affliction that's common to everybody. I've heard it said 85% of the world struggles with jealousy. It might be more than that. We have to fight it in ourselves. We're human, and yet we want to live for God. We all want to be divine, don't we? We love God and we want to be like Jesus. We want Him to be free to be Himself in us, and then we struggle. But that's okay, because God has answers, and He sent the Holy Spirit to correct us. It's like having the world's best basketball coach or football coach or soccer coach, the world's best. Some men are extremely good coaches. You can see it. No matter where they go, they always have winning teams, everywhere they go, because they know how to correct things that need to be corrected in order to refine their players and make them better than ever. And that's the way the Holy Spirit is with you. He knows how to take care of these things. And today, we're going to talk about jealousy and what causes that. And was it in the Bible? Did the people in the Bible suffer with jealousy? Did they have the green-eyed monster come? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll talk about some of the people in the Bible, and you see if you remember those stories. How about Cain and Abel? I mean, right off the bat, God's hardly gotten the world started, and there we go, two sons, jealous. One's jealous of the other. Maybe that's in your family with your children, and you think, what is the matter? I love them both the same. I want to help both of them. They're different, but I want to help both of them. But instead, they got at each other, and Cain just looked over there at Abel. He was jealous of the relationship Abel had with God. He could have had his own relationship with God. He just needed to do it God's way. But he didn't want to do it God's way. He wanted to do it his way. And then he looked. There's somebody doing it, and I don't like it. I don't like them. They do this and they do that. Jealousy from the very beginning. Sin came in, and right behind it, here comes jealousy. Where else is there jealousy in the Bible? Sarah, jealous that Hagar could have the baby. You know, it was her idea. She said, hey, sleep with my maid and we'll get us a baby. Then she got the baby and she let Sarah know, I've got the baby and you don't. And Sarah was jealous. How about Joseph's brothers? Sometimes you can make people jealous of you by your actions, by not being humble, by not keeping things to yourself that you shouldn't share with others, by not thinking, I wonder how this is going to sound to them. Joseph was young. He was a teenager. He's probably cocky. He probably had this dream, hey, you big guys, you're all going to bow down to me. How do you like that? And his brothers were jealous of him. Already they were jealous because he was his father's favorite. You parents need to be so careful not to have favoritism over one child. If you're in a blended family, you need to be so careful that you love all the children the same. There shouldn't be any difference. They shouldn't be able to tell you love one more than the other. There's something wrong when you do, because God's heart of love, He loves us all the same. And you need to be like that in your own family. But Joseph's daddy did not do a good job of setting things up the right way. He preferred Joseph, and he showed it. And look what happened. Nearly ruined Joseph's life. Joseph's way of saying things that angered his brothers so much nearly ruined his life. By all practical purposes, it did. Sold off to another country, lived in another country, lost his family for all of his years until he was a grown man. There's a lot to be said about learning how to deal with jealousy within yourself and with others. Saul was so jealous of David. You know, David didn't do anything but try to help Saul. Do you remember the story that Saul was in a cave going to the bathroom and David snuck up behind him, cut off part of his robe? His men wanted him to kill him. They said, "There's your enemy, kill him." He didn't. But instead of Saul appreciating David and his integrity, it made him hate him more jealous of him. And I'll tell you what really made him jealous is when the women began to sing, "Saul has slain